What's up, YouTube? Once again, Nana D coming at you, thanks to the power of YouTube and the graciousness of their channels. Welcome again, once again, to Nana D's channel. I apologize for my appearance, but we currently are very cold here in Missouri. Hopefully you all are warm and safe, either on the broadcast or the rebroadcast. Right now we are 10 degrees, feels like 2, and are supposed to hit 0 tonight. So we are very cold here in Missouri. Tonight we're going to be taking another look at The Order, 1886. Now you may notice that I'm not playing the background music of the startup. There's a reason for that. That's something that I'm going to start doing on a regular basis, and there's kind of a funny story about that. Yesterday evening after our broadcast, I logged into YouTube as usual, and as I always do after a broadcast, see if there were any additional comments, see if I've had any comments or whatnot, so I can keep up to date with the community. And, you know, once again, I apologize. We are running late on this broadcast. That's one of the reasons why I recommend that you hit the bell button for notification, so that you can be notified when we do go on the air. Unfortunately, real life tends to take a precedence around here. A classic example, those that have been tuning into the channel know, we have frozen water pipes and had a water pipe burst. So we were waiting for our water supply to get here. We were down to 1 gallon, and that didn't get here until late, so dinner started late. Like I said, this is reality, folks. What you see on here is not a scripted situation. That's why we ran a little late. That's why I recommend, you know, clicking subscribe, as well as the little bell notification message, so you can be informed when we are on the air or when we have had a broadcast. But anyway, so I logged into the YouTube, as I do every night. And I had received a copyright notification from YouTube of copyright-written material in a game. So I clicked on it to find out what it was. And a couple of episodes on this show a while ago, I did a broadcast here of the Hitman series. Now, it wasn't the original tune that they got me for. Here's the kicker. Here's where I kind of have to laugh, okay? Because keep in mind that the company that makes Hitman purchased the rights to use this in their game. Therefore, anytime their game is sold, they, you know, have to pay a dividend to the rights on the music. So you would think that the copywriter would want to sell as many episodes as possible. You know, that's part of the reason why I do some of these walkthroughs or playthroughs, so that you get a chance to take a look at the game and whatnot. Well, there's a scene in that, the first, let's see, is it the first? No, the second mission you go out to, there's an opportunity to poison one of your victims. In order to do that, you have to get into the kitchen outfit, go talk to the chef, get the rat poison, put the rat poison in the spaghetti, ring the dinner bell so he goes and eat. Now, mind you, he doesn't die just from eating that. I did discover that. When you're in the kitchen, there is a radio playing. My copyright infringement was from the music that was playing out of the radio, out of the game. The kicker is, now get ready for this, fans. I mean, this story gets wilder. Okay, so because of that, okay, I cannot monetize that video Not that it's a big deal right now. I'm about 9,900 views from them even looking at the channel for me to be able to do that. I mean, I do want to monetize the channel when we can, to help with the doctor's bills for Nana J, and help raise the kids and everything else, to help, get us central air and heat. That'd help. But I'm a long way from being able to monetize. So not only because of that impression can I not monetize that particular Hitman video, because of, now keep in mind, once again, radio that was playing, or music that was playing on the radio, in which the Hitman series went ahead and put in there. But also, that copyrighted people can add commercials, which they monetize and make money off of on that particular video. So, in the essence of, PYOA, protect your own ass, I am not going to play the entry videos. I'll probably get hit on the last video I made, which was the Back to the Future series. If they make an issue of it, the theme song is there on the opening screen. So in order to make videos that maybe someday I can monetize, I'm going to do what I can and not play opening music and not play ending music. If I show through a game and it starts to roll to the credits, I'm going to be hitting mute on that television also. So, kind of fun, interesting thing to put out there, especially for future YouTubers, anybody that's watched this in the archives. Be careful what you do. I mean, I found it hilarious, actually. I didn't think that something in a game would get me that notice. I'm allowed to keep the video up. I want to thank them for that. Thank the sponsor of that song and the copywriter of that song. Thank you for allowing me to keep that video up, as I did put a lot of work into it. I did spend time putting into it. It's just kind of funny that would be what I got flagged on. When you have people out there making rage videos or reviewing videos of other things that, for whatever reasons they're allowed to. So, you have to excuse me here. I think I lost a cherry on this. Apparently not. So that's why at the beginning of the videos you will not hear music coming from that. I mean, that scene that I showed, there's nothing I can do about that. Even if I had entered the room and walked in and shut off the radio, the music's still playing there. So just something for future YouTubers or anybody that thinks of making videos. Be aware that they do actively check the content on these videos. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of honored that they noticed that. Being a new YouTuber, having just started this stream of the game portion here on YouTube, I'm kind of flattered that they actually somebody would see my content. It's a little bit discouraging when you only have 1 subscriber and 100 views, and you need 10,000 to get even looked at to put monetization on. But it is. I'm further along in less than the same time period than I was on Twitch TV. Twitch TV has already knocked 8 of my videos off because of their 14-day hold time. That was a lot of work. I mean, those were 5-hour videos, which is why I said it's real hard to get into Twitch and have a catalog for people to see until after you get established on there, because it disappears. And unfortunately, they have a very strict rule about you can't show something on YouTube that you show on, or you can't show something on Twitch that you put up on YouTube. They don't want any cross competition there for some reason. But tonight we're going to take a continued look at the Order 1886. I originally the first where I'm currently at in this game, I got to on a Twitch video that I did. I believe it's still up if you want to check that out. Is The Order a classic in the making? I'd say it depends upon who you are. Now, The Order was one of the first games scheduled to come out when the PS4 came out. I believe it was a little delayed. I believe it didn't come out until 6 months after the PS4 had come out. And give me just a moment to pause here, because I do believe we are losing Nana J. Since she is the one that gets up with the grandkids, she kind of has an early bedtime. But then again, I don't consider it an early bedtime for a woman that wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's about a normal bedtime for somebody that wakes up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Wouldn't you say, Nana J? Yeah. We have real interesting... We kind of tag team our sleep here, and it's not intentional. Nana J usually goes to bed about 7 o'clock. Usually wakes up anywhere between 2 and 4. Usually 4 is the latest. You know, a lot of times it's 2 o'clock that she'll be up, but usually not any later than 4. She's kind of like my stepfather is. He was in the military so long that even, 40 years later, he's waking up at 0400. But, so she'll go to sleep about 7 o'clock. I usually stay up. When I was doing the 5-hour broadcast, I was up until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because I'd finish the broadcast, go in, update the description, make sure it posted, and check all my accounts, my Facebook, my Yahoo, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my YouTube. So usually I'm going to bed as she's getting up. Now, it hasn't been that way the last couple of days. I kind of like this, only doing about a 2-hour broadcast here on YouTube, because of the fact that I've actually been getting to bed before 1 o'clock. You heading to bed, hon?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for her to head that way before I continue with this. I want to thank the 2 people that popped in but didn't stay around 60 seconds. Thank you for stopping by. Not the type of viewership that I'd like to have. I'd love to have chats and whatnot. One of the things I'm going to see here in the next week or so, I'm going to see if I can figure out doing live stream on YouTube with my camera on the computer. If we could set that up during the daytime or something, I'm hoping to do a live type of broadcast for about an hour. I'm talking about the day's events, things that go on in live. Okay, you old girl.
Tired.
Too many chores? I gather it came down to rolling cigarettes and going to bed. Or going to bed, you chose bed. Yeah? Well, yeah, you look kind of tired. It's actually an hour past your bedtime. If not, you'll be sleeping out here. I'll just have to pause it again while you lay down on the floor. Huh? Hey, that way all our viewers can hear you snore. No, you don't snore. Well, we'd have a whole lot of witnesses to you not snoring.
It's like you fart when you sleep.
I do not. I fart when I'm awake. I'm usually awake back there when I fart. You just think I'm asleep. The lovely Nana J, everybody. So, back to the question of, is this a classic in the making? A lot depends upon your viewpoint. When it came out, a lot of people berated it. I think for the beginning, coming on a new system, which, you don't know the full potential of what you can do until about half the life of the system. I think the rendering and everything is phenomenal on this show, on this video game. I think it was an interesting concept. You took a little bit of history, added some people from that history, such as Sir Conan Doyle, Tesla, Jack the Ripper, edit it with a little bit of mythology, being Knights of the Round Table. Add some legend lore like vampires and werewolves, and roll that into a story. And that is something that's very hard to do. Assassin's Creed being the most logical one to think of as an example of what they did here with this series. Now, if you're a trophy hunter, you're going to hate this series. An example is my playthrough on Twitch was 4.5 hours long. I'd been in the game for 4 hours before I earned my first trophy. A lot of the trophies are difficult to earn. Could take several playthroughs. Give you an example, let me switch to the trophy list here. Even though we're not shooting video, we are currently shooting, doing the microphone. So if we go into that trophy list, there's a hidden trophy, which is probably ending the game. There's the marksman trophy, which is gold. You have to kill 5 enemies with a headshot during black sight. You have well-rounded. You have to kill an enemy with every weapon. Now, I had thought I had used every weapon when I first played this game, and apparently I hadn't. You have to kill 40 enemies with scientific weapons. You have one for killing 3 enemies with a single explosion. Now, that one could be earned earlier during the first playthrough, within the first 4 hours. It's just a matter of timing. You have the 100 enemies with a headshot. The one we did earn was Box Your Ears, which was a kill 15 enemies with melee attacks. There's a kill enemy 25 enemies without aiming. Then, kind of like the Mass Effect series, you have killing so many enemies within certain way type of trophies. You have the Hunter, which is kill 10 Lycans. That's a common trophy. You just haven't got to it till this point. Then there's the type of collection that you're familiar with in the Assassin's Creed series, which are inspect all items, gather all the phonographic cylinders, inspect all the newspapers, inspect all the photographs and documents, and then, of course, the power observation, which is inspect all objects. That is a very rare at 7.3%. There's a shoot an airborne grenade during black sight. So a lot of these trophies are a matter of time. Taking the time to get a particular trophy, and then maybe the next time playing through, for example, use just pistol one time, and then just use a certain rifle another time. So those are all time consuming. So from a trophy hunter aspect, this is a game that you're not going to get a trophy every day. This is a one that you're going to have to put in some time to do the trophies. And while I'm speaking on trophies, I want to point out 2 things that I didn't bring up in my last video, the Back to the Future game perspective. In Mission 5, there are 2 trophies that are extremely easy to miss. I pointed out, well, there's 3 actually. I pointed out one of them, which was where to go and dance. You have to do it 8 times to get the moonwalk dance to earn the moonwalker trophy. 2 other things though. Well, actually, we'll go a chapter earlier and get 3 of them. There's a trophy for offering algae cake to everybody. You get that from the old piano player that straightened out his life with the green truck. I showed how to get that. In order to get that trophy and not miss that trophy, you also have to give one to Emmett when you're back in the lab. That's an easy one to miss. The next one to miss is if you get, there's the I got it on tape trophy. To do that, you have to talk to everybody there at the exhibits with the potted plant. However, do not tape do not tape the lady's confession until after you've seen Emmett in the dock behind the futuristic house, because you need to go back to the diver for a second time, because it's Doc inside of the diver's helmet. Therefore, if you tape her before that, you're not going to get that trophy. And it'll be failed to, you'll have a hard time with that. That was one part I kept missing yesterday. The third one on there is providing algae cakes to Mary Strickland after you find her out in the desert. Now the thing is, those algae cakes are not the algae cakes you got from the truck driver. Now pay a lot of attention to this, because this is an important information. Otherwise you will have to go play back through it again to get this trophy if you're 100%er. There comes a point when they call him the angry guy. He's the guy you got into it with at the speakeasy. He's called the angry guy. When he goes up on stage, it's a small presentation. During the time he is up on stage, you need to go to his booth and take those algae cakes, because that is the only algae cake that you can offer to Strickland when you find her. You miss that small little window, you're not going to have the algae cakes that you need to present it to her. I know this because I figured I had those algae cakes from before. I hadn't offered them to anybody, figured they were still in my inventory. Went to that particular point and they're gone. Those are some of the hard ones. But anyway, back to the order. So, from a trophy hunter's perspective, this is a game that's going to take some time if you're a trophy hunter. Like I said, a lot of people didn't like the story. I thought it was a very well-written story. Up to the point, where we're at right now, you discover that you're a member of the Round Table. It's tied in, you've heard about, you've met Tesla. You've actually worked with Detective O'Doyle, which is Sir, O'Doyle of the Sherlock Holmes fan, Conan O'Doyle. And you've heard of the Ripper, his latest victims, and you've met Tesla. So the story, story mode on this I've played through. I feel it's a very good story. But I'm going to go ahead and give you YouTubers on our channel here the first chance that we've had to show the order. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up where I was at. Take a look at it. If it's something you like, definitely check it out, pick it up. As usual, be sure to hit that like button if you like what you see here, and hit the subscribe button so that we can keep you up to date on our each of our videos. Tomorrow night, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. Oh wait, tomorrow is Wednesday night. There will be no broadcast tomorrow. Or wait, yes, tomorrow's Wednesday night. There will be no broadcast tomorrow that I'm aware of. I probably will do a video for YouTube, taped in advance, and put it up. I have seminar tomorrow night. Now, normally we wouldn't be back Thursday, but we're in week 10 of the final week of our college courses, and my Thursday night class does not have a seminar, so I will be back on Thursday. Not real sure what I'm going to premiere. I will either do, take a look at the Dragon Ball series, take a look at Mafia 3, or maybe take a look at Saints Row. Not real sure which one I'm going to feature. We may just continue this, but we're going to go ahead and get into this, get into continue, so that I can turn it on. Turn on back on the sound. Let's see here. Hit the wrong button. We are
Izzy, I'm here. Izzy, can you hear me?
Anybody know if the crystal planets to respond? No one is believed to have survived the crash.
It's me.
Gray, respond! Where the hell are you? Everyone! Forget alive! Fight him!
Do this alone. You two need to counsel. So it's alright, is he?
now. This is still before his escape. You still remember?
Time of this session.
Or still showing what happened before his escape, which is where we started out at.
Philip was a great man.
The best of us.
I took the liberty of
Keeping his
his
aside.
aside.
I know it is not standard.
Chris, do not blame yourself for what happened.
This
Let this cloud pass.
How
can I?
He was
He was my mentor.
my
My brother.
So he
So he was.
But
Concern yourself with the upcoming solemnities.
The rest
The rest can wait.
Too
Too many questions remain, Alistair. I intend to find answers.
Mallory's death will be avenged. Do not fall prey to dark thoughts of retribution. That way madness lies.
Come.
The
Council awaits our presence. Lord Hastings is on his way from the United India House.
Wishes to thank you in person for saving his life. And the lives of all the other people on the ship. The United India Company owes you a debt of gratitude.
For over 6 centuries, the night called Sir Percival sat with us in brotherhood. He saw entire kingdoms perish, and others equally transitory take their place. He saw the rise of the half-breeds, and was relentless in their pursuit. To all these things he bore witness, because he was blessed by this. The Grail. The black water that courses through our veins. The bond that unites this order. The elixir which heals all wounds and extends the life of natural men. Yet it cannot ensure immortality. Now, Sebastian Mallory, once Sir Percival, is dead. There is a tradition of bestowing a knighthood in our order, only on the occasion of the death of him who bears that honor and burden. Generation after generation, new knights have taken the names of their hallowed predecessors. We are assembled here today on just such a solemn occasion. From blood of oath. The Grail will give new life. To you, Marie, Joseph, Paul, Yves, Roch, Gilbert de Mortier, Marquis de Lafayette, swear to uphold the most noble precepts of our order. You pledge to give your life in service to our righteous cause.
With all my heart and soul.
Drink. May the Grail give you life beyond life. By this communion, you are bound to a sacred order. Henceforth, only your blood shall replenish this vial. May the black water serve you well. Always use it wisely. I dub thee submersible, servant of our great king, and knight of the round table. Rise, Sir Percival, and assume your rightful place at our table. Guards! Remove Sebastian Mallory's body from the council chamber and take him to the crypt. This council is now called to order. Let the terrible tragedy which has befallen us serve as a warning to those who would defy the mandates of this office. The late Sebastian Mallory did not perish in the fight against the Huns. No. He died a victim of his own heedless enterprise. And the negligence of those sworn to uphold the highest standards of duty and sacrifice. And to what purpose? Lord Chancellor, I must have... Public buildings destroyed! Innocent citizens placed at risk. Incalculable damage done to United India Company property. It is only by the mercy of Providence that an even greater disaster was avoided. All this while not a single rebel was taken into custody. On the contrary, by their rogue actions, the knights in question may have done the enemy a great service.
The Lord Chancellor perhaps speaks too harshly. He would do well to remember that Sir Percival's force did uncover evidence of a rebel effort against the...
Substantial evidence. Mere supposition, all of which resulted in a deplorable calamity. I will hear no more.
With respect, Lord Chancellor.
Sit down, Sir Galahad!
With respect! I, too, have lost a friend. More than a friend. A brother. You do great wrong to sully his name in such a manner.
You dance on the very edge of insubordination, Sir Knight.
I am apprehensive of my responsibility in this affair. Yet if the same circumstances should present themselves, I will do exactly as I have done. As Mallory wished.
My lord! Sir, the rebels have ambushed Lord Hastings' carriage. He and his escort are trapped on the Westminster Bridge.
All knights to arms! Protect Lord Hastings! Let's eliminate these godless rebels once and for all.
Sir Galahad, this matter is not yet over. Someone will yet answer for Sebastian Mallory's death!
Of that you can be sure. Arm yourselves and take defensive positions on the bridge. Galahad, you're...
Give me just a moment. Just take a look at trophies.
Come on. Let's go.
So Galahad! The carriage carrying Lord Hastings is hidden in the middle of the bridge. We're not sure if anyone's alive.
Lucan, Igraine, Percival, with me. Hastings may still be alive. You must reach him.
Shotgun spotted! Reloading!
So much for that. Oops. Oops.
We must reach for Hastings' carriage. Nice! Wipe every last rebel off this bridge.
Shotgun spotted!
I'm dead.
If Lord Hastings still lives, we need our aid. Don't let any of these rebel bastards get away.
Shotgun spotted!
I'm being pinned down. We need another fire.
Oh. Been a while since I've played this. I'm dead. What happens? There we go.
Rebel down.
Grenade! Rebel down!
Hastings may still be alive. You must reach him. Kill every bloody rebel who gets in our way.
Shotgun spotted!
I'm pinned down. Enemy down. Watch out. Target down. On the trolley! I am reloading! Shit! There's one! Enemy down!
Clear! We've retaken this portion of the bridge!
Quickly! We need to get Hastings out. I'll cover you. Lucan, Igraine, on my mark. Pull him out when I lift the carriage.
Understood.
Ready? No! We have him! Everyone fall back to the palace!
Great, where are you going?
To finish what we start.
This is no time for vengeance! Come to your senses! Great! Stop!
Damn it!
Does anyone have eyes on Galahad? Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position?
Damn it.
Fort Hastings is secure. Does anyone have eyes on Galahad? Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Sir Lucan, this is Sentinel 3. We are 1 meter off Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel 3, find Sir Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, sir.
Bloody hell.
sentinels above our position. Salute. This is Sentinel-3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel-3, find the Galahad and have your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, ma'am.
So this getting 10 pretty frustrating.
Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Salute. This is Sentinel-3. We are 1 league north of West Bridge and closing.
Sentinel-3, find the Galahad and have your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, ma'am. Does anyone have eyes on Gallagher? Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Salute. This is Sentinel 3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel 3. Find the Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, Doctor.
Oh, I was so close.
What am I still coming?
Lord Hastings is secure. Does anyone have eyes on Galahad? Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? 7, this is Sentinel 3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel 3. Find the Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, ma'am.
Son of a...
Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Salute. This is Sentinel 3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel 3, find Sir Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
There we go. Thought I had him.
Does anyone have eyes on Galahad? Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Salute. This is Sentinel 3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel 3, find Sir Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
Understood, ma'am.
Bloody hell. Damn it.
Lord Hastings is secure. Air Command, do we have any sentinels above our position? Salute, this is Sentinel-3. We are 1 league north of Westminster Bridge and closing.
Sentinel-3, find the Galahad and keep your eyes on him without fail.
Understood.
I need one over there and the other on the right. Come on, hurry!
Sentinel-3, I need air support.
We are approaching your position, Sir Galahad.
Acknowledge.
Right overhead! Take you back!
Sir Galahad, Fox now in position for trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving in your position.
Let them go.
Sentinel-3, do not lose sight of him.
I'm up. Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position atop a trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of him.
I'm on.
Bullshit.
Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position atop a trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving into your position.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of him.
I'm on.
We are back.
With the final portion of our show. And you get a quick snap.
Sir Gallagher, we have spotted an artillery position atop a trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon.
Understood.
Sir Gallagher, rebels are moving in on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight.
Sir Gallagher, we have spotted an artillery position atop a trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the location.
Understood.
Sir Gallagher, rebels are moving in on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of him.
That must be the hint here.
Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position atop a trolley east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it. Sir Galahad, rebels are moving in on your position.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of him.
Aye, ma'am.
shit.
Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position across a forest east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of it.
Aye, ma'am. Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position across a forest east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving on your position.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of it.
Aye, ma'am. location. A shoulder cannon.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving in your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel-3, do not lose sight of it.
I'm on.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell.
Sir Galahad, we have spotted an artillery position approximately east of your location. A shoulder cannon from the looks of it.
Understood.
Sir Galahad, rebels are moving in on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel-3, do not lose sight of him. I'm on.
Understood.
Rebels are moving in on your position.
Let them come.
Sentinel 3, do not lose sight of him.
My mark. Sir Galahad, the rebels are in retreat. The Royal Army is en route. They will contain the threat from here.
Fuck the army. This is my fight.
Sir Galahad, the Knight Commander has to abandon. Clear of the east end of Westminster Bridge. We are witnessing heavy artillery fire at the moment. Galahad, this is direct command. Stand down.
Galahad, what are you doing? Come to your senses and return to the palace.
Where's the Indian woman? Where is she? Where is she? Tell me! Tell me! Whitechapel. Brother.
Where is Sir Galahad?
Lady Igraine, Sir Galahad is near the east end of the bridge.
Stay on him until we can get to his position.
Landlord! A drink! A drink! Damn you! That's it!
And I'm going to go ahead and end tonight's episode right there. I want to thank everyone for stopping by tonight, or stopping by in the and checking out the rebroadcast or the rerun. Like I said, we will not be on tomorrow night due to schooling. However, we will be back Thursday evening. Until then, I want to wish everyone a happy evening, morning, afternoon, whichever the time may be when you're watching this. And until next time, happy gaming, everybody.